ولا دار ولا دار ولا دار جلت ناقته وغرزت.
First comes the strong hot coffee and then the sweet tea. Those gathered here belong to the Bani Assad, or Sons of Lion tribe. It's early in the morning. Members of the group come here to exchange news and settle disputes. They're meeting in a mudif in southern Iraq. The reed houses are an architectural masterpiece, a tradition that goes back to the cradle of civilization. They're built of bundled reeds woven into columns and bent into giant arches. Hand-woven mats form the roof. They're comfortable inside, even in the summer heat. In the early 1990s, Saddam Hussein tore down most of the mudifs. The culture of the marsh Arabs was almost destroyed. The Iraqi dictator had most of the nearby swamps drained for military purposes.
Life was suddenly over. Everything was bare and empty. We didn't even have water to drink. People killed each other over a single canister of water. That's how bad it was.
These images testify to the extent of the destruction. Some 15,000 square kilometers of marshes were transformed by Saddam Hussein into a desert wasteland. After the Gulf War ended in 1991, the Iraqi dictator was determined to prevent local Shiite rebels from taking shelter or going underground here. Iraqi-born Azam Alwash is a hydraulic engineer. He spent 25 years in exile in the United States. After the fall of Saddam Hussein in 2003, he decided to return to his homeland.
You roll to a bridge that you remember when you were young, and you remember going on top of the bridge and seeing the forests of reeds, the life, the birds in the distance. And you go to that same point, and you see nothing but dust, desiccated earth, tumbleweed, death.
In late 2003, Alwash was able to flood about 1/3 of the drained marshland. The water was released from 4 areas in the dams that had been built by Saddam Hussein. It was a cloak and dagger operation done together with ecologist Jassim al-Asadi.
Through the water, you could see the seedlings, the tips of reeds growing, green is coming back, and voila, 2 months later, the water is clear, the reeds are up, and life is back. Turns out, all we need to do to restore nature is to let her work by herself.
Dawn is still hours away. We take a boat out into the marshes. The city of Jubaish, Iraq, was once known as the Venice of the Middle East. In the mid-1990s, hundreds of thousands of people fled the region, hoping to escape the brutal Iraqi dictatorship. But now that the marshland is fertile again, more and more people are returning. It's a success story, one of the few today in a country devastated by war. Water and reeds as far as the eye can see. 300 species of birds can be found here, 2/3 of the species native to Iraq. Water buffaloes swim past the boat and graze on the reeds, largely undisturbed by their owners. 50 species of fish swim in the waters. Several thousand families now make a living from fishing, almost like back in the good old days. This morning, the catch is scant. Normally, though, Abu Haidar earns about $60 a day from his catch. That's considered a good living in Iraq, where unemployment is high. Many fishermen spend several nights on one of the small islands until they have a catch of about 100 kilos. Then the long journey to the market is worthwhile.
We marsh Arabs don't need much. But there's one thing we always need, water. We're like fish. Without water, we're dead. We pray to God that it won't just be 2 meters high, but 3.
إلى الماء عندنا مترين، إحنا نقول يا الله خلي 3 أمتار. والله صعوبة بس بالجهد والتعب النفسي شوي.
It's a hard life.
الحمد لله خير من الله.
It was always hard to be a fisherman. But thank God, today we can fish again. Under Saddam, fishing here was banned for years. Even though it's very hard work and we're exhausted at the end of the day, we can fish again better than before.
This is how bread is made here in the marshland. They make the dough the day before and let it rise overnight. Now it's time to bake the bread, using an improvised Bunsen burner made out of burning reeds. The flatbread has a slightly smoky flavor, but it's filling. For the locals, the marshes give them everything they need. At the midday break, the researchers return to their headquarters. Meanwhile, Abu Haidar helps his wife, who is cutting reeds nearby. For locals, it's part of their daily routine. The tradition makes it possible to survive in the marshland. The reeds are the stuff of life, providing everything from animal feed to construction material to insulation, even flour for bread. We return to Jubaish. The boat is sometimes steered using one foot while standing, but that takes skill. Jubaish is a city with a turbulent history. Until 1993, it had 100,000 residents. After Saddam Hussein drained the marshes, only 600 people remained. Now, more than 50,000 live here again in humble surroundings. Among them, Salwa and her husband, Abu Haidar. They have 10 children, 7 girls and 3 boys. The family was also forced to flee in 1993 and spent 10 years living in the Iraqi capital, Baghdad. It's a time they would rather forget. Abu Haidar tends to his only remaining cow. Back when his oldest son married, he slaughtered one of them. 7 went to the dowry for his daughter-in-law. It was almost everything the family possessed. There's one bedroom for the entire family. Abu Haidar shows us how they live. The blankets are laid out on the floor. He has only one jalabiya for special occasions. But they make do and are happy with it, even when the day's meal is a plain one. Salwa serves rice and beans as a main dish, today and most days. We head out to one of the 7-meter-high dams. In the 1990s, Saddam Hussein used these dams to drain the marshes. The area extends over 520 kilometers. Every digger, every truck, and every heavy earth mover in the entire country ended up here. For 2 years, nearly all of Iraq's economic output was moved to the south to divert the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Azam al-Wash and Jassam al-Asidia are planning more environmental projects. Al-Wash has even founded a university in northern Iraq. But for both men, their heart is in the marshes. They used simple methods to undo much of the damage wrought by Saddam Hussein, and they take pride in that accomplishment. In December 1993, at this very spot, they used a digger to make the first hole in the dam. The water started flowing back to where it belonged. We returned to the boats to take our last ride on the water. The hours right before dusk are especially beautiful.
The marshes are what I come to regain my sanity. You know, 1 hour in this wonder world, and I'm peaceful. I don't have anxiety. Tomorrow will take care of itself. I see the birds, and it's fantastic. I see the fishermen fishing and making a living, and it's a fantastic thing. I see trash, and I say, "Nyeh."
جلت ناقته غرزة ولا دمر ولا دار وزمان دوم تابعني.
It's the cradle of civilization. The biblical book of Genesis refers to the Garden of Eden, and two of the mighty rivers that flowed from it were the Tigris and the Euphrates. And as the day draws to a close, it seems this could well be the original Eden. A marshland in southern Iraq, now a paradise restored.